Turkey a la Sheik, bro. Turkey a la Sheik, bro. Turkey a la Sheik has shut down David Benavidez' request to host the mega fight showdown between him and Canelo in Saudi Arabia. Even after stating if he loses to Canelo, he will donate his entire purse to any charity of Turkey's choosing. But there is more. Turkey told him he was going to give him a counter offer and said he has a better offer for Benavidez, and it will be for his legacy. That's if Benavidez gets past his next opponent, Boschlik, as this will be Benavidez' debut at 175, the light heavyweight division. And as we all know, nothing is guaranteed or promised in boxing. And this is the topic that we will be talking about next. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. Okay champs, let's get started. Okay guys, as we all know, Canelo Alvarez did her interview in the Canelo versus Munguia presser, and he was asked if he will fight David Benavidez next in September if he beats Jaime Munguia. But he said no, there hasn't been any negotiations for that fight to happen. And he also adds, Benavidez does not bring anything to the table except for an extra 25 pounds on fight night. But in reality, it really doesn't do anything for his career because Benavidez doesn't even have the belts. He is the next champion though. And I'm just wondering what John Ryder and Yildirim did for Canelo's career. And what did John Ryder and Yildirim accomplish to get a shot at Canelo? So Canelo was also asked the question if he had offered David Benavidez a flat fee of only $5 million without any pay-per-view or gate back in money. And Canelo answers no, not that he knows of, and he knows everything. I really thought that was a very ridiculous offer, because I believe that was a slap in the face for a fight with that magnitude. Because you would have think that Jaime Munguia will make a lot more than $5 million to face Canelo Alvarez, right? And even if they had offered that offer to Munguia, to me that is still very low for Munguia. Munguia is a young, undefeated, hungry lion and has been looking very good lately, especially after having a different trainer in Freddie Roach that was the trainer of living legend Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. And I believe this fight has the potential to become pretty big because Jaime Munguia and Canelo also faced the same opponent. They had both fought John Ryder, so I'm sure they will build the fight off of that, because Canelo was not able to stop John Ryder and then win all 12 rounds, even though he did drop John Ryder. But Munguia did stop John Ryder and he actually made him retire. So because of that alone, you would think Munguia will get more than a $5 million flat fee. And John Ryder was never known to be an unbeatable monster that everybody avoided. And Canelo and David Benavidez also faced the same opponent in Caleb Sweetham Plant. And Caleb Plant to me was a way better fighter than John Ryder. Even though I do know styles make fights. But Canelo was able to stop Plant and Benavidez was not able to stop Plant. But I still want to know where that rumor came from about the $5 million offer flat fee. But Canelo denied it. He said it wasn't true. But this contradicts that. David Benavidez's dad the other day came out and in an interview said that not only did they offer him a $5 million fee, he accepted it. And he said they were actually waiting for Canelo's team to message them back, but Canelo never got back to them. So that's when he started saying Canelo is a duck and he is scared of Benavidez. So one side is lying and one is saying the truth, but I really don't know who to believe at this point. So after that, Canelo said that David Benavidez does not bring anything to the table, and says the only way he will fight Benavidez if there is a promoter out there that is willing to pay him $150 to $200 million guaranteed. And if that is possible, he will fight David Benavidez tomorrow. But come on, none of us are dumb. We all know there is no promoter in the States that will give any fighter that kind of guarantee. And if someone does by any reason, it will have to come out of their pockets. And in order for them to get their money back, they will have to sell 2 million pay-per-views at $84.99 a pop. And that is just for the minimum that Canelo is asking of 150 million. If he asks for the 200 million, they will have to at least sell 3 million pay-per-views. And we all know that message wasn't for any promoter in the States. That was a subliminal message for Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh, as they are known to have money to burn. And a lot of different people believe different reasons on why Canelo was doing that. Either Canelo outpriced himself out and knew nobody will pay that, therefore avoiding David Benavidez, and he probably knew Saudi Arabia won't pay that kind of money either. Or he was always planning to fight David Benavidez, but he was just trying to see who would pay him the most. And maybe he was trying to see if he can get away with that kind of money. But I believe that is a very good way to duck David Benavidez. So Benavidez sends Turki Al-Sheikh a message from himself, and he says if he is willing to host the Mega Fight Showdown in Saudi Arabia. And he says he does not fight for money, only for legacy, pride, and glory. And if he loses to Canelo, he will donate his entire purse to charity. And if he beats Canelo, he will still donate most of his purse to any charity of Turkey's choosing. So it just took one day for His Excellency to message back. And he says no dice, and he has a better business proposition for Benavidez. And Turkey told Michael Benson that he would rather make the fight between David Benavidez and the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, and it will take place in December. And he says this is more practical than a David Benavidez versus Canelo ALVAREZ fight. He says Bivol versus Beterbiev is gonna take place in June. He says Bivol and Beterbiev have a rematch clause, but he wants David to fight the winner in between the fights. But Turkey never said he would never make the David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez fight. He just said not right now. But I just want to see the best fight the best. Now hear me out. Canelo Alvarez said that David Benavidez doesn't have anything to offer to Canelo except for 25 extra pounds on fight night, which I believe that is true. David Benavidez almost balloons to a heavyweight. But we all know David Benavidez beat up Dimitri Bivol in sparring, and I am sure he can do the same in a real boxing fight. And I believe he can probably beat Beterbiev as well, because if you guys think David Benavidez is a monster at 168, just wait for him at 175. He will be a lot better. He's actually a fighter that's draining himself, kind of like Devin Haney. As soon as they move up, they get that extra energy. I believe they are just too big for those weight classes. So whoever wins, Bivol or Beterbiev, they will have to face David Benavidez next. And if David Benavidez either beats Beterbiev or Bivol, he will become undisputed. And I really do think Benavidez can be both. And after that, Canelo wouldn't be able to say that Benavidez does not bring anything to the table. He will be undisputed as well. And they can make that fight undisputed versus undisputed like they did with Charlo. But the difference was Charlo and Canelo were two weight classes apart. And Canelo and Benavidez will only be one class apart. And Canelo had already fought at 175. Now the question is, who will go up or who will go down? But what if Benavidez beats up Bivol or Beterbiev so bad that that makes him the face of boxing now? Or will Canelo still be the face of boxing and he'll still call the shots? I'm sure Canelo will make Benavidez go down with a rehydration clause, because he will have to be forced to take on the fight. If not, for sure, people will start calling him a duck. Even some fans are already turning on Canelo. As you notice, on the press conference with Jaime Munguia and Canelo, nobody was clapping for Canelo, only for Munguia. Do you guys think Canelo and Benavidez will ever fight? comment below and I'll write to everyone back. If you guys like the show, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world! I shook up the world!